Today, I'll develop the story of Yeongnam, Yeoju, a World Cultural Heritage Site. There are two Yeongnam tombs in Yeoju, located in Yeoju, Gyeonggi-do Province. The joint burial mound of the 4th King Sejong and Queen Sohon is in Yeongnam. The upper and lower burial mound of the 17th King Hyojong and Queen Insun are Yeongnam. There are two Yeongnam in the same place, so they are distinguished by Chinese characters. In English, King Sejong's Yeongnam is written as Yeongnam and Hyojong's Yeongnam is written as Yeongnam. The site, in accordance with the Pangshu philosophy, with Jusan Mountain behind it and a burial mound built in the middle of the mountain. It faces Cheongryong and Baekho on the left and right, and the Bukseongsan Mountain, which is Ansan in the distance to the south. Ansan means front mountain which protects the famous Pangshu site. Sejong Royal Tomb and the Hyojong Royal Tomb are located on a large scale, so they have separate entrance and parking lots. The parking lot is about 10 minutes walk away. This is the Sejong Royal Tomb parking lot. The road between Sejong Royal Tomb parking lot and the Hyojong Royal Tomb parking lot is called Gati-gil. This is Hyojong Royal Tomb parking lot. There is an entrance after passing the King Sejong Royal Tomb History and Cultural Museum from the parking lot. Cultural commentary must be reserved at the Yeoju City Tourist Information Center. The required time is 1 hour for Sejong's tomb, but if you add Hyojong's tomb, it will take 2 hours. It usually lasts 1 hour, but depending on the guide, some even cover Hyojong's tomb. The Yeongnam tomb of King Sejong and Queen Sohon is the joint tomb of King Sejong, the first king of Joseon, and his Queen Sohon. After Queen Sohon passed away, Yeongnam was built along with King Sejong's burial mound at the site of Hwangryung and Ilryung, and when King Sejong passed away in 1450, they were buried together. In 1469, the royal tomb was moved to Yeoju. The retaining stones were omitted. The Chinese zodiac characters were engraved on the laying stone, and only the two stone spiritises were installed. Yeongnam Kicho Street, formed into a sanctuary of King Sejong's tomb by President Park Chung-hee, was restored from November 2017 to December 2018. Firstly, the exhibition of inventions from the reign of King Sejong, which was in front of the Jaesil, was moved to the History and Culture Center. Secondly, the Jaesil was newly built. And thirdly, the incense path was changed. A king's path on the left side of the incense path, which was not in the Samneung-doga Uge, which is a record of construction of Joseon royal tombs, was removed, and the bent incense path was modified into a straight line and changed to an oblique shape rather than a right angle to the shaped shrine. As it was restored according to the traces, the incense path was obliquely connected to the T-shaped shrine, unlike the basic form of the Joseon royal tomb. King Sejong's life. King Sejong was appointed crown prince in 1418 when Grand Prince Yangnyeong was deposed, and in the same year he became the 4th king of Joseon at the age of 22. During his reign, he made many notable achievements in every aspect of Korean life, including politics, economy, science, and culture, as well as creating the Korean alphabet. He is said to be the greatest king of Joseon dynasty. Hangul was created to help the people communicate in writing more easily. In October 1443, King Sejong created Hunmin Jeongeum, which literally means the proper sounds for the instruction of the people, the original version of Hangul. Sejong also ordered the compilation in Hangul of books of knowledge that would be useful in everyday life. Today, Hangul is said to be the most scientific alphabet system in the world, and one of the most important inventions originating from the reign of King Sejong. King Sejong was dedicated to the development of science and technology. He trained young scientists and encouraged them to invent various devices, including the celestial globe, hemispherical sundial, and clepsydra. 현주 1구 is the portable dangling bead sundial. It was produced by enlarging the size recorded in the literature by 7 times for outdoor display. Jeongnam-ilgu was first created in 1437 as a sundial indicating both the time and seasons. Its name, literally meaning a south-pointing sundial, refers to how it can accurately determine north and south without using a compass. This example was made in May 2002 by tripling the size of the original as described in historical records. Angbu-ilgu is the most widely used sundial until the end of the Joseon dynasty. It was named so because the clock face is concave like a cauldron and the pot points toward the sky. Clepsydra, created in 1434, was the first one of its kind designed to tell the time automatically. This rain gauge used together and measured the amount of precipitation over a set period was first produced in 1441. There is no left, so it was restored in February 1998 based on the literature. The Sunstar Amulet clock was made in 1437 by combining the mechanisms of the sundial and the star dial. It was done to indicate the time during both night and day. This water gauge was made between 1441 and 1442 to indicate the water level, including the Hangang River and the Cheonggyecheon Stream. It was made of wood at first, but the wood was rotten, so it was made of stone later. It is said that King Sejong had many ills and very overweight and did not eat anything other than meat-style dishes. He said that bathing in hot spring water drains the vitality of the body and damages vitality, so he said that he suffered from diabetes, insomnia, and nervous breakdown due to his unclean lifestyle, and that he almost lost his eyesight due to complications from diabetes in his later years due to hard work. It is said that he suffered from boils, a blood-borne inflammatory disease because he rarely exercised. Queen Soon was framed by King Taejong, who tried to punish family forces, resulting in the deaths of her father and uncle, and her family members being reduced to government slaves. The ministers ordered Queen Soon to be dethroned, so she lived without much breathing. Due to her having given birth to 10 children, Taejong strongly opposed it, so she maintained the queen's position, but her prestigious family became fair. Queen Soon is considered the most wise and good wife among the queens of the Joseon dynasty. How much mental suffering was behind her outward appearance? Perhaps that's why she ended her short life at the age of 52. This is King Sejong's family tree. Yeongnung is the tomb of Hyojong, the 17th king of the Joseon dynasty, and his wife Queen In-sun. After Hyojong's death in 1659, Yeongnung was built on the site of Wallung, west of Konwallung within Donggo-rung, Guri, but when cracks appeared in the retaining stones, his tomb was moved to its current location Yeoju in 1673. In 1674, Queen In-sun's tomb was built below Hyojong's tomb, making it the first open lower burial mound of the Joseon dynasty. There is a bent wall around King Hyojong's tomb, but there is not at the Queen's tomb. But the King's tomb and the Queen's tomb omitted the retaining stones. Hyojong was the second son of the 16th King In-jo and Queen In-yeol, and was given the title of Grand Prince Bong-rim. He lived in Seonyang, Manchuria for 8 years as a hostage to the Qing dynasty and Crown Prince So-hyun. After returning to Korea, he was appointed Crown Prince upon the death of Crown Princess So-hyun and ascended to the throne in 1649. He reorganized the military system, strengthened military training, implemented the Daedong-bop, and casting the Sangpyeong-tongbo. He commissioned Hamel to manufacture Western-style weapons. We learned about Hyojong's theory of conquering the North from history books. When he succeeded to the throne, he actively promoted anti-Qing northern expedition to calm the uneasy legitimacy due to the weakness of not being the eldest son, but he said this was to strengthen the royal power. It is said that if the northern expedition had been carried out, the people's livelihood would have been in ruins, let alone resolving the war. At that time, it was difficult for Joseon's military and economic power to compete against the increasingly powerful Qing dynasty. On the contrary to the ministers, the northern expedition ended in Hyojong's wish, but just thinking about increasing military power and having big dreams makes me think that I am much better than his boring father. He had 1 son and 7 daughters, and we could see from Hyojong's letter that has been handed down so far as the daughter's full father. Hyojong suffered from a serious medical accident in which he suffered from severe falls and was unable to utter a last word after getting an acupuncture treatment from a doctor suffering from a tremor of the hand, causing him to breathe a lot and not utter a last word. He passed away in Daejeon Hall of Changdeokgung Palace in 1659 at the age of 41. Queen In-sun was the daughter of Jang Yu of Sinpungbuwon-gun and married King Hyojong, then Prince Bong-rim, in 1631. She was proclaimed Crown Princess in 1645, and when Hyojong ascended the throne, she became a queen. She learned a lesson, the tragic downfall of So-hyun Prince's wife, Gang Clan, so she lived frugally all the time with the spirit that it would be a sad house if her hen cried louder than a cock. She was on good terms with Hyojong and had a lot of kids and didn't see much of concubines. She spent her life in peace and was able to live until the age of 57. Tombkeeper's house at Yeongnung Royal Tomb. Most of the tombkeeper's house of the Joseon dynasty were destroyed after the Japanese colonial period and the Korean War, and only a part of them remains. However, the tombkeeper's house of King Hyojong was moved here from the building that was built when it was created on the grounds of Donggonung, and is a representative building whose basic form is the best preserved. It is designated as treasure number 1532 due to its high academic and historical value. This is the 17th ruler Hyojong family tree.